It's heaps higher this time.
All right. Welcome back to the Spark Your Interest podcast. I'm going to start one thing quickly. I introduced myself as Josh last time. I listened back and it was fucking weird.
No one calls you Josh.
It's Fordy and Sam. I was trying to be professional. But yeah, it's Fordy and Sam. So welcome back. First of all, shout out. We'll do it at the start this time. Earth Beer. I've got the Fruit Tree. I'm going to say any IPA or Nepia. I don't know. I
think it's any IPA. And I've got the
fruity.
Rising Sun Pale Ale.
No, it's a 1.8. That might cook me after that.
Oh, that's nice.
Righto. So we're back for episode 2. We got more than 5 views. So we're going to go again. We're going to start. We're going to do another one.
5 views is a good start.
More than that.
More than that?
Yeah, more than that.
Wow.
So it's good. We got some good feedback. So feedback number 1 was that the camera was a bit of a crotch shot.
Well, didn't we do it on purpose?
Yeah. Oh. So you got it. We've moved it up now. Okay. So not as much crotch. Good for some, maybe not so good for others.
Yeah.
I think everyone said the sound was good.
Yeah. Good start.
And then I think all the other feedback was pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to add some more editing in, maybe a bit of B-roll, if I can figure that out.
Links to tools.
Links to the tools that
we reviewed.
And we're going to actually say what the tool is because if you listen to the podcast, I don't think I actually told you what the tool was. It was a bootlace crimper, and I didn't actually say that. So I've listened back to that, and I thought, righto, I should probably think about the sound, not just the video.
Yeah.
If it's going on Spotify. So
yeah, because actually, for those of you that don't know, this is going on both. Right?
Yeah,
this is
going on both.
So
we want to make it for both.
Spotify.
So if you actually can't see the tool, you need to know what it is. Yeah. That makes sense.
100%.
Feedback from last week, putting it up, that was an ordeal. Actually getting it off my phone was about 15 to 20 hours of uploading.
Was that because of your tech ability though, or was that because it was just fucking
That's
hard?
the internet. That's why today we've got the guys wiring hard lines into every computer in the office because the internet sucks. That's what I'm blaming it on. So it was like a 15 to 20 hour upload into a Dropbox and then like another 5 hour download out of the Dropbox on the computer and then the editing and then like downloading it off the editing program was another few. It took like 3 days and I thought it was like a 20-minute process. I didn't actually realize how long it was going to take. So that's another thing that I'm going to have to allow to add in for timing because it's going to take a lot longer than I thought.
But I suppose that's the other thing as well. We're on Monday now, whereas last time we did it on Thursday. So
now I've got 4 days to get Friday Toolbox out by Friday.
Yeah.
Which I should.
So it's beginning of the week for us.
Yeah. Start of the week.
Rather than end of the week.
So I guess start of the week, what have we been sort of...
What has been going on this week so far? What have I been doing? What did I do today?
You did a switchboard upgrade, didn't you?
I was at a switchboard upgrade actually for someone that we work for regularly or has got multiple properties in the area. And we'd gone to do lighting faults at her house and had found that not only were there lighting faults, but the switchboard was an absolute nightmare. Might put some photos up of that if we can. It was interesting because also there was no service fuse within the main switchboard, so we got that installed at the same time to give them a point of isolation. So that was good. Yeah, got that sorted out, got it all tidied up, and then that has subsequently led on to some other work as well because we had some discussions around other bits and pieces that she wanted to do. So that was good. So a good start from Monday for me.
Yeah, sweet. I just kind of luckily we were doing 2 jobs in Byron next door to each other, so doing a shop fit out for working in one and next door doing the same thing. So that was pretty good. So I just sort of ran the guys through that, got them set up, getting some new track lighting and stuff put in there. I think we did a heap of data in there as well. So that's good. So that's kind of start to the week. It's a pretty busy week this week. We're pretty flat out. So trying to get all that organised and then everything, people call up and you're trying to just slip stuff in, which is, it's like you go from the harder. It's hard. I don't know. If you ask the girls in the office what the worst thing about working is, they'll say the scheduling. They hate it.
Yeah. Well, because things change so much, and jobs fall over, and then other jobs get introduced into the schedule. So a lot of time is taken for sure in like rehashing the schedule, mainly moving people around to suit the job type as well. There's a lot of that, and I think
trying to keep the right person on the job.
That's sort of the back end stuff that I think maybe people don't realise that there's so much back end work that takes place to just get the schedule out.
Yeah,
And
because
then
I
that
guess
doesn't even
you've
allow
started
for
doing a bit more of that now as well. Like
Yeah.
we've moved you into that.
Yeah,
more role,
trying to organise all your own jobs. That was the other thing I was going to talk about with stuff that we've done. So we had the Clipsal training last week.
Yeah, that was good.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tim from Clipsal. That was good.
So
He came in
Tim
and we had...
from Clipsal Schneider, he's going to be coming on as well. So we went through some good stuff. We went through some stuff with EV charging that was really interesting.
There's some good stats in that. There was some really interesting stats that he had about like where the EV charging thing is going to go, basically how many people will have an EV car by like
because it is small. It is small here compared to like the UK. Like we know the guys in the UK that are just smashing them in everywhere.
Yeah.
Compared to here, my theory on that is that we'll drive big cars, and there's no ute yet that's EV.
Right.
So I think like until that's a thing, then you'll see more. Obviously, no tradies are going to be driving around in a Tesla
or an MG. Yeah.
So I think that'll be a big thing. But then the requirements with the class of buildings, that was interesting as well. So I think when I get him on, I want to get him to talk about that.
Yeah, because that was really interesting.
Because that's going to be good for builders as well. Because there's stuff.
Well, it was basically the fact that there's a certain amount of per building class. You have to, if you're building a new type of building based on the building class, you have to allow for however many EV chargers within that scope. So that was pretty huge to find that out because as Fordy said, that's going to massively affect anyone building a commercial building from now.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's something that you don't want to find that out too late, obviously, but it's the percentage of car spaces need to be EV ready for the type of class of building. So we looked at it, it was like
apartments and MDUs was like 100%.
Yeah, 100% of apartments will have to be
so that was
EV ready. So that'll be massive and such a big load as well. But we'll get him on. We'll talk about that. What else did we do? We did some Clipsal Wiser training. So we went through that. It was interesting. And then a bit of Seabus, a bit of Dali. So that was good just to get the guys sort of around that. And
just letting people know that there are other options besides C-Bus, because I think from my perspective it's always been sort of that C-Bus in terms of home automation. C-Bus was where it was at, which it still is the case, but it's now sort of taken that's the more high end of the spectrum. So you've got other things that day-to-day people can have installed in their homes.
It's like retrofitting, like the Wiser, you can go in and give someone like a smaller, cheaper option than just going, we've got to rewire the house.
Rewire everything.
I think automation scares people, and I think this is a good way of being able to, not just for the consumer, but for the electricians to be able to sell it to people.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I wanted to put the other guys through it, because I'm not always the person that's out in the field talking to the clients. So I want to have all our guys trained and confident in everything so that then they can go and talk to a client. Someone goes, we want to do this. And they can go, we know what? We can use this product because they actually have done the training and they know about it. Whereas otherwise, if it's just me, I'm not going to every job. And sometimes it's the small jobs where they want to control their blinds or turn a light on that you can't get a cable to, and you can use wireless switching to do it. And that automation is an option to get you out of trouble with it. So I think that was interesting.
Yeah, it was. It's just good to have those other options available. But like I said, just knowing about those options. If you didn't know about them, like you say, you'd never would have known that it was a thing, and therefore you just breeze right past it and you just tell them they can't do it. Whereas we've got that ability now to go, sweet, let's do this.
Yeah. So I think so. That's kind of like a bit of a wrap up of the week. So I reckon we'll get into our Toolbox Friday, because by the time I release it, it will be Friday.
Yeah, sweet.
So do you want to start?
Yeah, sweet. Actually, no, you go first because I've got to set this thing up.
All right, I'm going to go first. We talked about it last week. I bought it on. It's the staple gun. My prized possession, my favourite tool. I've used it so many times. I don't go anywhere without it.
No,
it's
that's
a staple
only because
in
it
my
got
tool bag.
left in your car.
It's pretty dusty.
Yeah, it is literally never.
It's actually heavier than I remember.
It looks so new, by the way.
It's brand new. No, it's been getting banged around in the back. I actually forgot. I did use it. I used it on a laundry roughing. I did use it. Yeah, I banged about 10 clips in with it. I like it. I actually do like it. It's good.
Actually, you know what? On that, can I use it tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm going to use it tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to use it tomorrow, and I'll get some footage of it being used tomorrow.
All right.
In a proper scenario, because he didn't use it.
If I can figure out the editing thing, I'm going to put some footage of it getting used right now. Fade in. And then I'm going to keep talking. So it's got a clip in there, hey? So it's like you load it up with...
it's exactly like a nail gun.
With your staples, yeah. And then it's battery operated. And it pumps them in. So we just did a test before with two 2.5s.
Yeah,
and
and it worked.
It fits a 6
It
mil.
was really good.
And it sets the depth, so it will do 1.5 as well.
Double, yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think you can stack like 3 cables in there. I haven't tried that, but you
was surprised.
You do need to be careful if you're going through and you just bang them in, and you move. I think that I've heard the DeWalt one has a safety feature where if you have to have it bang in the middle or it won't.
Oh, it won't.
I'm probably not going to play. I'm going to shoot myself.
Yeah, I was going to say don't.
I think it won't stable through a cable, whereas this, it does.
Actually, I think you're right.
I did accidentally put one through a cable when I was trying to do it fast. But it looks pretty neat. I just don't know how many you have to use. So, because if we're clipping, we don't want to have like a droop in the cable or anything.
No, you mean like across the span? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know how much, because it gets pretty tight. So it's going to depend on the depth you set. I think if the harder you push it.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a go of it.
I'm going to have a go at it tomorrow. I'm going to use it tomorrow.
Yeah, so that's my tool. It is the 12 volt. I did say 18 volt last week. I'd corrected that, but it is 12 volt. I'll drop in there the link for it and the retail price. I think I got this from the wholesale on the special, so I think it was like $300 maybe, but I'll check that. But
that's what we're talking about. But if it is a time saving tool.
Mate, if you don't have to walk around, you're not walking around with a hammer and clips. And there's nothing. I think the best thing for this would be in a roof. Like when you're roughing in a roof and you're going in there and you don't want to be trying to fucking get clips out and stuff like that under a house.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good excuse to use it. Whereas if you're in a rough in, I don't know if you look a bit like a wanker if you pull one out. Everyone would totally piss out of me for buying this.
Mate,
Literally everyone. But I just wanted to rock up one day. It's like maybe just bang the sunnies on and just start shooting clips around. That just never happened.
No.
All right, but that's mine. Milwaukee 12 volt cable stapler. Pretty good.
Sweet. All right, I'm going to move on to mine. Mine is the Ferret Wi-Fi cam. Probably can't see that. But it uses Wi-Fi. It's just a really small camera with lights on the front, and then it has full connectivity with your phone via an app. With your phone. And yeah, it's a super useful tool. I've used it so many times for finding cables in roofs when you can't get in there to find it. It also comes with some cool accessories in this little case. So it's got like a flexible rod, it's got a hook, it's got some straight rods as well. So you can just get it into roof spaces and find cables, like especially in downlight holes when you can't get your arm all the way in or you just can't see, you can kind of get the camera in there.
It's got a magnet on there as well, hey?
Yeah, it's got all kinds of things.
I had one of those and I did have issues with it.
What was wrong with it?
The rods kept breaking. And they did say that was an issue. And we sent them back and they sent out new ones and I think it happened 3 times. And we had things like the hook on the end would just snap off in the wall. It just like come out of the thread, I think. But they did know about that, and I don't know
that is the only thing. It's not a deep thread on it. It's not a deep thread, and it's just threaded into plastic.
Yeah.
But all my experiences of it have been pretty good.
Yeah, I think I remember trying to get down a wall with one with, pulling a cable up a cavity wall, and the hook would just snap off, and then we lost it. So you don't want to obviously lose the camera.
No.
But inspection camera. That's got to be a go-to for any Sparky, surely. Yeah. No one's good enough to not have one of them.
No. It's just one of those things where there's nothing worse than losing cables in a wall.
And it happens.
Yeah, it happens or you have to move some downlights.
Yeah.
And then you've got to spend the time, trying to fish cables out in the loft, and you can't find them, and it's a pain in the ass.
I've got the Milwaukee one, but it's on the telescope. So it's way harder to use. Yeah. Like I actually used it the other day and I put a little bit of coat hanger on it.
Yeah.
And I managed to get it, but it's so flexible.
I used yours a few times and the thing I just couldn't get my head around was, it's like that thing where it's in the wall and you're like, am I up or I'm left to right? And then you're like,
I think that's definitely an easier one to use.
It's just a useful little tool and it's cool because it comes with a little,
you just got to be able, the other thing is you got to be able to hold your phone and hold it at the same time. So if you got your phone set up somewhere and you can see it, it's good. But if you're trying to fish with one hand, it's obviously way harder. We'll put some footage up of that as well. And a price and a link.
But I rate it
for that.
Get behind it if you inspection cameras, because the thing is, like all those other inspection cameras as well, If you look, I think the Milwaukee one is quite expensive. I think it's a couple $100.
Yeah.
These are like, I think these are 200 as well.
I wouldn't buy the Milwaukee one again.
No.
I think I've used it because I've got it and it's handy.
But those inspection cameras go up. I think the most, because Milwaukee do the baseline one and then they do a high end one, which is like $740.
It's just too flexible to use.
Yeah. That for $200,
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that
you
should all have or get behind. It's good.
That's it.
So that will be in the description. I'll show you the case.
Yeah.
Looks like that.
The Ferret. Other than that, that's the tools. I think we're going to start organising some guests to come on this week, and then I've got some really good ones lined up. So going to be interesting. It's going to be lining people up to come on. So we'll have Clipsal. I got another mate who's a Sparky who's going to be coming on soon, which will be really interesting because he's done some pretty cool stuff with his life, and we're going to be talking about juggling fitness and the group that we're both in together, and work and family, because we both got 3 kids and you got 4 kids, which is skids.
Yep.
But being able to juggle family life, work, being good at your job still, and looking after yourself and your health. So that's going to be a really interesting one. And I got a few other real good ones lined up as well. So I'm pretty excited for.
I think that'll be a good one too, because I feel like that's probably an underlying thing across the podcast as a whole, will be the discussions around, I feel sometimes around mental health as well, because I feel like it's an important one.
And that's a good one. I've got Lockie from Healthy Minds is also a Sparky, going to come on as well and talk about the charity that they run. And I just want to delve into a bit of I feel tradies is always someone that's a hard market to break into with that, because we're known to be, a bit standoffy and not touchy about the subjects and not talk about it. So we want to break that down within here and be able to delve into a bit of that, techniques we cope, things we've dealt with, especially, I guess, 1 being a worker, 2 being a business owner, which is going to be good to help other business owners. It's a big stress. I know even for me, trying to keep 18, 20 people employed is something that stresses me out every single day, because you don't know. And that's not just my livelihood. I'm trying to keep work for all those families, and I know all your families. I know everyone. So it's the stress of that obviously builds up. Then you got to go home and be a dad, and then try and not bring those stresses home with you is definitely hard. And I feel it's definitely something that's not talked about enough, and I want to be able to bring some light to that. Things I used to deal with it, bring other people in of how they deal with it, and hopefully can help some people out there that don't know how to deal with it. And I reckon that's. I'm not going to turn it into a full mental health podcast, but I think if we can talk about it and those topics arise, I don't think it's something we're going to shy away from, and I think we'll be able to delve into it a bit, which would be good.
Yeah, and talk to some people, like you say, that have had first-hand dealings with it.
People that deal with it, people that are working in that field, and especially because most of the guys that we know that are dealing with that are tradies. So they've probably got some good techniques and good. Mate, we live in one of the best places in Lennox Head, where the community there is amazing around that stuff, and the community programs that run, and the stuff like the Buddy Boys, Healthy Minds Club, the Ball and all the stuff they're getting around is insane. So shout out to all those guys doing some crazy stuff, and we'll probably be pulling a few of those crew in to talk about that stuff. So that's it.
Awesome.
Easy. Episode 2.
Thanks, guys.
Might be 3. 2.
Ooh, 2.
It's 2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
It's 2.
Done.
Done.
See you later.
See ya.